Rockin' Country, 105.9 The Bar, Garth Brooks, and we shall be free. Good morning, gang. 7:09, you are here at the bar, and joining me right now, United States Senator Jon Tester. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jack. Good to be here.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
What a morning, I'll tell you what. Darn nice.
It's a great morning, but it sounds like you've had quite a busy couple of weeks. In fact, quite a busy couple of months.
Yeah. No, it has been busy. We get home every weekend, so it's busy every week. But the break, so to speak, that we have is challenging because we get around the state and visit with folks and then do a little farming on the odd time. So it works out.
You've got harvest going on pretty quick here, don't you?
We do. Yeah, we're cooking. It's the winter wheat's pretty much cut up north, and they're working on the spring wheat now. So that's good.
I know that you've got the break going on from D.C. You've got some roundtable meetings you're doing the next couple of days here?
Yeah, that's why we're in Billings. We're going to be meeting with, doing some roundtable sessions with the hospitals, basically getting their perspective on the healthcare initiatives that are going to be coming into the Senate here. Hopefully, Senator Baucus will have a bill out of finance sometime in September, and we'll have something we can debate. But until that time, meeting with some professionals there in the hospital, talking with them about the challenges of the current system and how we can make it better.
Well, and that does bring to mind one thing that keeps coming up, the healthcare reform that's going on.
Yeah.
The latest rumors, it seems there's constantly a new rumor coming out from one side or the other about how this is going to go. I think I heard something out it's going to be outsourced to Panama now.
Well, I think that part of the problem that we have in the Senate right now is we don't have a bill, so it opens it up to all sorts of rumors, good and bad. And I think ultimately, I think people agree the current system we have, the status quo, needs some adjustment, a serious adjustment, and we need to approach it, from my perspective at least, control the costs, make sure we have good accessibility, affordability, make sure people have choice. So if they like their insurance policy, or if they like their doctor, they can keep it, and then put in a healthy dose of prevention and wellness, which is really the cheapest thing we can do over the long term, and move forth. And I think those are the goals that I hope we end up with, and end up with something that's affordable and makes sense for working people and small businesses in the United States.
I know that both sides of the aisle have been doing some propagandizing, if you will, and both sides of the aisle are also looking for input from people. Is there a number for the Billings office or for the Washington office, for that matter, that people could call with their comments, concerns, suggestions, perhaps?
Absolutely, and I've got 7 offices around the state, so you can go to any of my offices or call them. I've got a website, tester.senate.gov, that lists all the numbers, the toll-free one for back in D.C., plus the numbers here for the offices around the state of Montana. And take the input. Absolutely, we get calls every day. And I think the best number to call, I'll just give you the 800 number, 800-554-4403. One more time, 1-866, not 800, 866-554-4403.
And 866 is still toll-free, by the way.
It's an 800 number.
It's an 800 series.
That's exactly right. So people can call and give us their perspective, for sure.
Moving into a new area, because obviously healthcare seems like the third rail nowadays. It used to be Social Security was the third rail.
Yeah.
But you have just finished a trip to Michigan. The automakers there are dear, loving friends at General Motors.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what.
Was it dripping with enough sarcasm?
Yeah, exactly. It could have been a little more. It's a very unfortunate, because we've got the Stillwater mine here, the only palladium mine in the United States, and they do such a great job. I had the opportunity to tour it a couple weeks ago. They've got great people working down there from an environmental standpoint. They do an incredible job right on the Stillwater River, and they've had this contract with GM, and GM, they're in financial trouble, so they went to the bankruptcy judge and said, we want to void this contract with Stillwater. Bankruptcy judge agreed with them, which I think is unfortunate. The real sad part here is that GM's going to keep the contracts with the South African firm and the Russian firm, and get palladium from South Africa and Russia. They say, well, we're going to recycle some in Pennsylvania, but unfortunately that recycling, it is in Pennsylvania, but the actual recycling is being done, and it could be done right here, by the way. It's being done in Canada and South Africa. So we're losing some great some potential for some great jobs. people who end up buying those cars, and I think it's real unfortunate, especially since they took GM took taxpayer dollars in this process. I think
well, and it's still benefiting.
Citizen, oh yeah,
yeah, it's still benefiting from taxpayer dollars with the clunkers program, the cash for cars or what have you. Which does bring up another story I saw earlier this week. I know there's one or two dealers here in Billings that are still waiting to see the return on those applications for the clunker program.
Right. Well, what I would say is this: the Secretary of Transportation has said that they'll get those checks out. If they're having trouble, if they haven't called my office, please do.
Okay.
We'll put pressure from our side too to make sure those checks get out. That money's been appropriated. There's some forms I'm sure that have to be filled out. We have to make sure that people who are applying for the money actually deserve it. But it should be fairly streamlined. So we'll be working from our side to try to push that out. Make sure those checks get out on a timely basis. They can't be bankrolling this thing because it'll break them. There's just not that much margin in the business.